mix a little dye today, and I'll just take you through the process kind of quickly. It's not very difficult. A few things to make it easier. I use a dry funnel. It should have a big enough opening so that the dry dye powder does not get clogged as it's going through. I use a small wet funnel sometimes, and I have about 4 different measuring spoons. We got the tablespoon, the teaspoon, and a half a tablespoon, and a half a teaspoon. I also use a lid from one of my dye things so that when I pour, this is the fixer, the urea solution that will come, if you have my kit, there should already be solution in the bottle, a couple ounces. And you'll also want a mask. It's recommended you wear an OSHA approved mask when handling dye powder because it is carcinogenic and has been shown in the state of California to cause problems. But anyway, leave that up to you. So we have the bottle with the urea solution in it, which is just urea and a little sodium alginate as a thickener. And I am going to take my dry funnel, open the packet of fuchsia. This is fuchsia. And I'm going to just add it to the bottle. Make sure you have your gloves on. And shake well for 30 seconds. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. If you don't have a funnel, what you can do is you might need to crack the seal to get a little air in the packet, but then turn it upside down and knock all the powder down to the bottom so you can cut a little corner off and then just right out of the corner into the bottle. But don't cut too much of the corner off, otherwise it will be bigger than this opening and it will spill over. So now that we've shaken this for 30 seconds, we fill it up with water. And with fuchsia, it's good to leave. Normally I fill it to the bottom of the dome, except with fuchsia. To make this red, you're going to have to add yellow. So I leave a little bit of room in there. And then what we do is, step is optional, but I do this because I mix so much dye. You run the red through a coffee filter, and you just do this with the red because sometimes you get little hard minerals that show up as freckles, and you'll see little dark spots in your red color when you get it on the shirt. You usually don't see it until after the shirt's been washed and dried and it's too late. So you let this drain down. Red, red, red. You get tired of waiting, you can actually pick up the filter and just wring it out. So there we have the red. We'll put that back in the bottle. Again, it's not quite full. We're going to add yellow. So I need to make a bunch of yellow today anyway, so I will just demonstrate with large quantities. It's still the same ratio. Use the urea solution. Yellow dye powder. I need 8 teaspoons in this large container. There's 3 teaspoons to a tablespoon. So I'm going to put 2 tablespoons, and then you need 8 teaspoons. So we'll put a little bit extra. 8, tap it in there. Mix it up. shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake the groove. And it's really unfortunate when your thumb comes off the top of the bottle and you get it everywhere. Then I'm just going to top this with water. Boom. Now have a full quart of yellow. Yellow to the red fuchsia, add some yellow to the fuchsia to make it red. And it really imprecise. You can play with it. Different amounts of yellow will give you different degrees of red. It's not a very exacting science, tie-dye and dye mixing. So when we get a top for it, and the best way to test your colors, how easy is this? White paper towel. I'll give you a good idea, a pretty accurate idea too. It looks almost the same on a white shirt as it will on this paper towel. But that's my red. And we'll put that right there because that's where it goes. Now I need to make some blue. Bit smaller amount of blue. This is the turquoise here. Again, if you have a little packet of turquoise, just dump it in a bottle and shake. I mix my turquoise heavy. I actually put 3 teaspoons per 8-ounce bottle. The dye packet you have in your kit has that quantity of turquoise dye in it, so that you're able to dilute it down a little, and you could actually make a light blue and a dark blue. Seconds, and top it with water. And that'll be your dark blue. Straight up, this is what it looks like. Dark blue. It'll dry a little bit lighter than you see on the napkin too, by the way. So we're going to make light blue. So what I'm going to do is put this water in here, and I'm using, I don't know, maybe 3/4 of that bottle of water, and then just a quick shot of blue. And you can experiment with your own how much of a quick shot you need to make the blue you want. And here's the light blue. I don't know if you can see that very well next to the dark blue, but 2 different degrees. And the more water you put, the lighter the blue gets, and vice versa. Put the yellow and blue aside. And the other thing we can do with blue, turquoise, fuchsia, and lemon yellow, which are the 3 colors I'm using here, are the 3 primary colors in tie-dye. There are other yellows, there are other reds, there are other blues. If you want to mix color, it's the fuchsia, the turquoise, and the lemon yellow that you need. Those are your real primaries. Now I got the lemon yellow in there. Quick shot of turquoise. And we made some kind of a green. Almost like a, well, that's a Kelly green, I guess you'd call it. Another little shot of blue. And a little bit more green. shot of blue. So we got, real quick, we just made 3 different shades of green. As it dries, it'll get dry. Anyway, roughly, and that's how we take care of green. Of course, if you have the kit, the green comes in the packet. You don't have to mix it. This is just a little quick overrun of. Now the next thing you can do, and I don't do this very often because it seems to take a lot of work, but actually I'll use a graduated container for this. 1 ounce of yellow, well, let's just say equal parts, just for this demonstration I'm just using an ounce. 1 ounce of yellow, 1 ounce of the turquoise, 1 ounce of the red, in equal parts. I like to remember to cover my things, my bottles, as soon as I've done using them. I don't like to leave them laying around with the lids off, because I've dumped a lot of dye. These out. So with 3 equal parts, 1 equal part of each of the 3 primaries, black. Somebody the other day said, "Oh, they don't sell black in the stores. Where do you get your black?" I said, "Oh, you got to mix it yourself." And you can, you know, tilt this a little more blue, a little more red. You can make a red cast black or a bluish cast black, so that when it washes out, it'll have a hue of. This one looked like it came out a little bit bluish, so you could dump a little red in there. Let it dry for a second. It's still a little blue, but a little less blue. I don't know how well you can see those colors there. They all just look like black. So that's how you can play with some darker colors. And then you could add this mix if you wanted to tip the red a little. Here's something you can do with your red. We'll add a little bit of red and just darken it with a little bit of this black. And then a quick shot of turquoise. And if I didn't put too much black in, I'll compare the two on a fresh napkin for you. Here's the original red we made. And with a little bit of turquoise and a little bit of that black, we have a nice darker red. And if you get the turquoise on it just right, you can get that like a nice wine color or a deep burgundy. So tie-dye color mixes pretty much like paint. If you're familiar with using paint, acrylics or oils or any kind of paint, and you mix the colors yourself on a palette, you'll find that the tie-dye, the dye powders mix pretty much like paint as far as the results you get with the various colors. Also, if you are, a lot of times you want to duplicate a color, and I always just use the teaspoon for my measurements, but if you really want to exactly duplicate a color, dye is actually sold and measured by weight. So if you wanted to make this red the same exact red twice, you would want to put grams or ounces, you know, measure your dye. And whatever ounces you put in the first red, you just write that down somewhere, and then you can repeat it by measuring the dye again. So that's a quick primer on mixing color for tie-dye. I hope I covered everything. If you have any questions, you can always shoot me an email. Thanks.